Nemo bibi akwaba eba Melodies TV so. It is a new month. Na Ghana for betting bebre this month. Aside everything else, wa wutie me so mesre Nyankopon nhira ema wo eye month fufuro we mu. Na one of the things na Ghana for bebre na so eni eda. And it says a new month we na ye hwe nim se Ofori Atta obeba Ghana. Now, for people who don't understand the story, this is going to be very lengthy, and rightfully so, because you see, we said certain things in this country. I was sarcastic on certain issues in this country. A lot of people didn't understand, and then the entire me on this platform, people didn't understand, but more motiasi and motiasi. And you say, "Biana meka se Ofori Atta wundi bonu," but I was being sarcastic. And then June ye drew embre nanka ye twen se Ofori Atta nanka obedru Ghana nanka ya chino special prosecutor chino. And then Ofori Atta insem ode aba betu jane se wontumi mba Ghana na osrese yenye virtual session special prosecutor nene enye virtual session womonye wo phone so ana womonye wo internet so until no Ofori Atta wontumi mba medru Ghana. But let's take a step back. We'll come and then we'll read the comments so you understand. Let's take a step back where everything started from. Any baby and the Asemna Babedu. And then you realize that the signs were clearly written on the wall. Now, your maya, you see, state securities, no, especially special prosecutor was in Nanko ye serious, Nanko Behunsa science. Any. So, as far back as February 12th, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor on their official website, and I'm reading officially so you understand. As far back as February 12th, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor Edebeto Ghana Fuenim say Ofori Atta has been declared as a fugitive. Let's read the story. Ni ehwe di ntia Ofori Atta ye declared a fugitive. Now wo bronikas will be a fugitive. That is any background wo ye kronfuo bi a ye hwehwe no. Wabokro no we ade a wedwane a ye hwehwe no emra hwehwe no ena wedwane ono ena ye friend fugitive. I say media briefing update of cases. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the media. A few minutes ago I directed, this is the special prosecutor Kisie Jabin speaking. I say a few minutes ago I signed a directive declaring a high profile person a fugitive from justice. This person is wanted by Office of the Special Prosecutor to answer charges in respect of several cases, including the following. 1. Contractual arrangements between Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited and Ghana Revenue Authority for the stated objective of the enhancement of revenue assurance in the downstream petroleum sector, upstream petroleum production, and minerals and metals resources value chain. O declare se Ofori Atta we di boni a we di 1 contract okoko sign ye okaya SML 4 contract no Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited contract no. Yes. 2. Termination of a distribution, loss reduction and associated network improvement project, a project contract between the ECG and Beijing Shaoxing Technology BXC. Yes, it Ofori Atta sanso koye enyama bi between ECG4 and a Chinese company bi contract bi a Ofori Atta okoko terminate ye ebebo o man neka eno nso eye investigation no kan na Ghana fo nche da nim ho hwe o say investigation bi a ye yetia Ofori Atta. 3. Procurement of contractors and materials and activities and payments in respect of the National Cathedral project. National Cathedral in Sensem no e ka ho bi a Ofori Atta. 4. Activities and payments in respect of a contract awarded by the Ministry of Health, initially commenced by the Ministry for Special Development Initiatives to service Ghana Auto Group Limited. Munyamokaya sa ambulance in Sensemo a okuja to ablakwa obabe expose ye no and also Ofori Atta. And then the 5th one, a payments out of and utilization of tax refund account of Ghana Revenue Authority. Mama mwati asye your accounts be a friend tax refund account. Any one say the ensaka. Ofori Atta the nsa ekoko cancer a year account no. And no hunti Ofori Atta you declare no wanted. I say the fugitive's name is Kenneth Nanaya Ofori Atta. Mr. Ofori Atta is 66 years old. He was the Minister of Finance of the Republic between 2017 and 2024. Mr. Ofori Atta left the jurisdiction all around 2nd January 2025. Emra still MPP for Wamunya handing over and yes, Ofori Atta free Ghana. And according to the special prosecutor, no, Ofori Atta journey free Ghana. Also, on 24th January 2025, the Office of the Special Prosecutor communicated to Mr. Ofori Atta that the Office of the Special Prosecutor considered him a suspect in respect of 4 of the cases described above. Special Prosecutor reached out to Ofori Atta on 24th January. Ekache Ofori Atta say, "You suspect you. Ewan sema abaso. Avail yourself." Also, Mr. Ofori Atta was directed to attend in person the OSP Tio. I have said no me pesa motion in somame. Miss Remo, me pesa motion in somame because you see, baby I aba bedu ni nano. I say all the months are near training nano. Adane cost 90. And then Ofori Atta walk catch Ghana for say na kiyenya ne virtual over the internet no. Adane cost 90. But listen to February 12th. The statement as special prosecutor ne ebabetu ja tieniye. I say, Mr. Ofori Atta was directed to attend in person. Me say, Ahase Nation in Somame, we will come there. Mr. Ofori Atta was directed to attend in person the OSP on Monday, 10th February 2025 at 10 GMT for interviewing. Ye catch and say, "Wanwankasa nante no wombra special prosecutor office." Nyanya ni interview. Also, by communication dated 31st January 2025, Mr. Ofori Atta instructed his lawyers to inform the Office of the Special Prosecutor that he was out of the jurisdiction indefinitely on medical grounds and that the firm would notify the Office of the Special Prosecutor of his arrival in the country and in aid of rescheduling his personal attendance at the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Ofori Atta train 1 week pepepe. And the lawyer Stroma special prosecutor said Ofori Atta woni Ghana. Oba Ghana, yebema naba. Was further, the firm offered its willingness to provide the OSP with any information the OSP may require to aid in the investigation until his arrival in the country. So mo catch and say Ofori Atta woni Ghana. It's information be open yen lawyers no, ye de bema. It is Ofori Atta 10 years time and obeba Ghana krana. Special prosecutor train no in the next 10 years time oba near the Nabrel. Also, on 5th February 2025, the special prosecutor responded to Mr. Ofori Atta that the Office of the Special Prosecutor did not need or require notification from his lawyers of his arrival in the jurisdiction. And the special prosecutor no eba betroma Ofori Atta lawyers ekatrom say ye hia mo lawyers no enye mo lawyers na animu nya asem. Di pakro no ene yepe enye document ne yepe yepe se wono aba ne yetoto na no e won nsem bi so. Obi koko wi aponche, obi koko wi akoko na police for china eyo ono ankasa na yetoto na no. Se yesi Ghana embra ene yedi na embra no eye equal under article 17 na. Endie Ofori Atta nso e wo se wo ba na yetoto na no. Yempe lawyers nsem mpe nkrata nsem bia. Ti ha. O say the Office of the Special Prosecutor acknowledged Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers' gracious offer to provide the OSP with information in aid of the investigation. More lawyers no musu mo information yate yedamo ase nanso enye ne yepe. However, the Office of Special Prosecutor insisted that Mr. Ofori Atta's personal attendance at the OSP was required. Mr. Remo, me say munhye baby nso ema me baby ameka se munhye ne nso no eye he. Baby a waka say Ofori Atta is needed in person. I say Mr. Ofori Atta was directed to attend in person. Munhye ne nso mame uya no waba be share ahase nso enso. Osi. However, the OSP insisted that Mr. Ofori Atta's personal attendance at the OSP was required. Munhye ne nso mame ehon so into 2 places na maka. Osi, we need him in person. Almost answer catch lawyers ne say yeda mo asese mo pese mo boa but ye pese ye hu nankasa ono ankasa ne ye hia no. Also, the OSP declined Mr. Ofori Atta's request to be away from the jurisdiction indefinitely on medical grounds on his say-so. I have seen some mention in some 3 places. Special prosecutor no requested say, Ken Ofori Atta, that be untumi ntreye. Yesi we di bone. And the chairman untumi ayeka say we di bone say ya che no. Enyo onu no tumi tray Irokofo say mamo ncheme nda we na meba na mo acheme da bi. Omo Irokofo enom de omo pe ekokọ che ne time na omo pe so omo che no. Enti special prosecutor say mo awoka che Ken Ofori Atta ne say me special prosecutor ya ma membra say ye embrata mechi say obi di bone a menche no. Untumi ntre me time a menche. Untumi ntre me time a wo beba. Untumi nya sa we di bone e wose ye chill. Avail yourself. So the special prosecutor told the lawyers of Ken Ofori Atta 3 places, me say mention so. We'll come back to that. Also, consequently, the office of the special prosecutor directed Mr. Ofori Atta to indicate by close of business on Monday, 10 February 2025, a reasonable date of his return to the jurisdiction and attendance at the OSP. Iti afei special prosecutor ni mo meka tre Ken Ofori Atta say okay. Wan kasa bra betre by Monday 10th February wan kasa bra betre time a wo pese wo ba Ghana. Wan kasa bra na bra betre time a wo pese wo ba Ghana by Monday 10th February betre Ghana for time a wo pese wo ba. And this is to MPP for na ende state security eko chichichichi omo for na wo mo ka se hani. In fact say me kra me can be. But Ken Ofori Atta case we ama me hu say asem na me kan no I was wrong. Say state security kwachi obi a na say ade ntia na yento nsan invite ni pakro no. Na ki ye invite ni pakro na obe evade to say what Ken Ofori Atta is doing today. And Kowamba to say what Ken Ofori Atta is doing today. Yes, even me, I was wrong. Because who tears and someone America na? Yenfansa adenta kumi mo time I was like, oh, ebi ayentu nsan frɛ no wankwa yenye se by see Ken Ofori Atta story na ma yehu say yen na ye was aside na ye kasa nsɛm ni na da bi state security po bi a wo nkonkɔkye no. And clearly we are seeing what is happening with the Ken Ofori Atta case. It is a case study for yen na ye kasa nsɛm no. And there's a state security po bi no mkonkɔkye na. There is nothing called Rambo style. And Ghana ni bia wo America frame me and no kasa nsɛm na kyerɛ me. Because one of the issues I also raised was that state security kwachi obi no mu de etuo na nyama akwa na menti ase. Obi eba betrechre mu kyerɛ me say eye protocol I was say state securities no e follow. Omu kwachi obi I was say wo mu kra etuo because unnim weapon as any pakro ni kra. Enra Ghana ni bi o America etrechre mu kyerɛ me. Ema wo twema adwen kra ba bibi so. In fact, in America no saa nete omu kwachi obi ade bia police ni kra na etuo eye protocol. Inti ama me kra me hu ne say and there's a state security air kwachi obi a etuo na wo mo de kɔ style a wo mo kɔ ni na no eye mra e mo mo kwan eni kwan se ye fɛ no Rambo style e wo krom ha. We are reading and you are seeing for people who have forgotten. You see, Mashada Kwechi, so you understand where we have gotten to in this Ken Ofori Atta case. Tie, I say the OSP declined Mr. Ofori Atta's request to be away from the jurisdiction indefinitely on medical grounds on his say-so. Consequently, the OSP directed Mr. Ofori Atta to indicate by close of business on Monday, 10 February 2025, a reasonable date of his return. Oye no ka say, "Wo Ken Ofori Atta afa ya ma osa to me no. Time a wa ankasa wo pese wo ba na tre." The OSP warned Mr. Ofori Atta that if he failed so to do, the OSP would take all necessary legal steps to secure his return to the jurisdiction and attendance at the OSP at our own choosing. Omo ka kire ne say wa kire mra wo pese wo ba. So when to me endi so na wan ba. Ye bema Interpol acho e de wa ba Ghana. As subsequently, by communication dated 10 February 2025, Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers transmitted to OSP a generic letter procured by Mr. Ofori Atta purporting to be from a doctor in a foreign jurisdiction, stating that Mr. Ofori Atta had been seen and evaluated, and that he was undergoing further testing and management and possible surgical intervention at an indicated future time, and further that his medical condition necessitates that he will stay and follow up his appointments. Ken Ofori Atta lawyers betro say, oh, wakwako hu doctor no. Doctor ne say Ken Ofori Atta situation is serious. Inti yen to mean train mra obeba, but e was watina ha no bra be testing, no be management kakra, so nini na ne say yen to mean train mra obeba. On account of the purported letter, Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers prayed that the attendance in person of Mr. Ofori Atta at the OSP should be fixed, taking into account the medical reports from his doctors. I say at 4:16 p.m. the next day, Tuesday, 11th February 2025, the OSP received another letter from Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers. This time it was an inquiry. Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers stated that they were informed by the household of Mr. Ofori Atta that in the morning of Tuesday, 11th February 2025, 12 men comprising one police, and this was when they were talking about invading of Ken Ofori Atta premises, what. But you see, I want you to understand where we are coming from. Inti yeduruha. What you say? Now we've gotten here. Yeduruha. Inti, let's continue the story. You are going to get my drift, right? The OSP went on, explained a lot of issues, went on to speak. Inti OSP ne official statement. Enyama train ameka session nso emaye. We'll come to sa enyama train no. Ye no, ena sa time afenyoma ken ye na enim. Sisi ade wadane MPP for spokesperson. Afenyoma ken ba beka tre Ghana for say, one Ken Ofori Atta akasa. Na Ken Ofori Atta se wo beba Ghana May. This is the story. Me de tremo. And you see where we've gotten to. And that's a ye ka tre and say Ken Ofori Atta se won to me mba. Na wo pervert child they are. We see we've gone back to ground zero. Cause 90 any year all these months. This story was reported on February 18th. We are in June. February 18th. Right? Okay. As the OSP probe, Ofori Atta will return to Ghana in May. Afenyomaken. Yankenkai. As the minority leader, Alexander Afenyomaken, has announced that former Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori Atta, is expected to return to Ghana in May 2025, following a medical assessment abroad. On say, Ken Ofori Atta lawyers, Ekatre special prosecutor, ne say, "Woye medical assessment. Doctors ne tre time a wombra meye testing ne nyama." Omokan to the letter to the Omokan in the letter to the special prosecutor no. Inti Afenyomaken came back try and say he has heard from Ken Ofori Atta. On the doctors ne nyama ehye no Ken Ofori Atta say by May na we wie ni bibia na waba. You know, see, minority leader Alexander Afenyomaken has announced that former Minister of Finance Ken Ofori Atta is expected to return to Ghana in May 2025 following a medical assessment abroad. His statement comes after the Office of the Special Prosecutor declared Ofori Atta wanted in connection with an ongoing investigation into corruption-related offenses. The OSP also urged the public to provide any information regarding his whereabouts. Addressing Parliament on Tuesday, February 18, 2025, Afenyomaken stated that the former minister's legal representatives have been in contact with the OSP and have confirmed his scheduled return. He added that Ofori Atta is prepared to appear for an in-person interrogation upon his arrival. So the OSP said, we need an in-person interrogation with Ofori Atta. Afenyomaken came to say yes. Ofori Atta agree. So we'll be here in-person interaction or in-person interrogation upon his arrival. Or see we'll be here in person in May. Or say the case has generated significant public interest, with the OSP intensifying efforts to ensure accountability in financial governance. A letter from the ex-finance minister's lawyers read by minority leader in the chamber said, "We acknowledge receipt of your letter dated February 17, 2025. We respectfully indicate that our client, who is much due for his return, cannot be any time before 6 to 8 weeks of his possible surgical intervention as stated in the hospital's letter. Our clients hold that, taking into account surgical dates from March 20th to 21st and his recuperation period, he should be able to be back in the jurisdiction between May 14th and 30th, 2025. Osi Ofori Atta say it was in February. Ofori Atta say okoye operation in March. Into January, February, March, April, May, June. We are in June now. Into Ofori Atta say okoye operation in March. Oye operation ni we are. E was say wada ojojo ne ho. Onya na ho and then back. Into ohwe say March, April, May, by May 14th, between 14th to 30th May, dear, Ofori Atta beba. Sometime na wajuju ne ho awie, na bibia ye okay, na waba. Ofori Atta lawyers and some kan no. We hope you take note of this date and same can guide your office in fixing a day for the in-person of our clients to your office. And this is also, you see, the special prosecutor said we want an in-person interrogation. Afenyoma Kimbeka said Ofori Atta will present himself for in-person interrogation. Afenyoma Kin read a letter from Ofori Atta's lawyers. Wamoka said, indeed, Ofori Atta will be back in May 14th, 30th. Into all special prosecutor, no, per date between May 14th and May 30th for the in-person interrogation. So Ofori Atta's lawyers agreed to an in-person interrogation. Yatina Kromha Ghana Fuaka say, hey, ebi mu adwen ba so say, hey, Ofori Atta wonyamba e. Yes yo, embre ni nyanso ye. May etwem. Ena me ne o ka say, yira June mu. Enra eni ehun say special prosecutor ababema warning. And you see, the funny thing is say Ofori Atta lawyers and Ofori Atta team a wo ka say May 14th to 30th. Omo be bakra no. During May 14th to 30th, we didn't even hear anything from them. Yanti bibi enfi omo ho. Na nka bibi empo anka omo anom beba be ka say ye na e ka say beba. Ba say na ade na ye ne ye nya mba biom. What happened and say the special prosecutor Enra Yewura June mu and ode letter ba betu dwa. Say Ofori Atta uma yen date say May 14th to 30th. May no etwem. By 2nd June, say one bar, we will declare you wanted. Ye de wo beto Interpol for red notice so. Say baby will be an Interpol for nche wombra. Yesterday, that was what the special prosecutor did. Yankin kind. Or see, the office of the special prosecutor, OSP, has issued a directive to former finance minister Ofori Atta, demanding that he present himself as at its headquarters on Monday, June 2nd, 2025. The office of the special prosecutor warned that failure to comply with the summons will result in severe consequences. In a statement on Sunday, June 1st, 2025, the office of the special prosecutor cautioned that should Ofori Atta fail to honor the summons, he will be reinstated on its list of wanted persons. Shehominson Sumame, it is a different story altogether. We will come to that, don't worry. I see, and officially declared a fugitive, according to a report by citynewsroom.com. It added that it would initiate processes to issue an Interpol red notice, which could lead to his international arrest and extradition. It is special prosecutor Enra let Obabe try no. By ende Ofori Atta do ye hunu wagana ha. By ende ye de no beto Interpol for red notice so ye be chi na ba. Ende ya sorry ya Ofori Atta tron krata ben ya me kra no me still me hondo do me. Ade a ye ka say ye be ye me surgery March na by May no metumi agima ho me awie na maba no. O se da bi still me hondo do me. Afiansa me health no more complications kraba. Me nkwa no me just say health no nkwa your life right but health no more complications aba into me kra no mean to mimba. Inti, I want us to have a virtual session. Ofori Atta asem no. But see, Ofori Atta opts for virtual session with Office of the Special Prosecutor due to health implications. Now, we will come to that, but before we come to that, you see, okay, let me say this before I show you a certain story, right? I'll show you a story that has been in my bookmarks for long. I have a lot of stories I may bookmark it. I'll show you a story that has been in my bookmark for long, and then you are going to see what I'm talking about. It was as if say I was waiting for a day like this. I'll read that story so you see. Inti Ofori Atta as you want to remember. Now up internet. Mind you, they requested for a virtual session when Ofori Atta were more catching in February back. Our more catching soon to remember. And now Office of the Special Prosecutor said we want in person. And so Ofori Atta knows, said the Special Prosecutor is not going to allow in person. And then why is it that Ofori Atta is now back to the Special Prosecutor is not going to request is not going to allow virtual session. And then why is it that Ofori Atta is now back to his request of the virtual session and does not want an in-person session? I'm not going to talk about the rumors. Yehu videos and Crawford Trese Ofori Atta was seen in a hotel and all that. I'm not even going to talk about that. But the entire year cost 90. Yako back. Say ne papa mua. The entire year go back to virtual session. After all these months, February, March, April, May, June. For people who don't know, my main kind trail, me the mention kind. February, March, April, May, June. February, March, April, May, June. February, March, April, May, June. And we are back to cost 90. But you see, me, I'm not going to blame Ofori Atta. Because the truth of the matter is that any alleged fugitive or any person who is a fugitive will always want to remain a fugitive. People will always want to. Na ni bakuni ni mse yebe china. Na ebe ose de ntia na wuntu mi yebe chino na wosu. Because obi ampese yebe chino. Obi ampene se ye nchino. Enti if the special prosecutor thought say Ofori Atta was going to avail himself easily like that to be arrested, then the special prosecutor nekrano oni made awoye. Today you understand my sarcasm and na make say yenya Ofori Atta no undi bone. Obi aye ka say wa ball man krono say in 5 different cases. Then the special prosecutor to make us okay. Ye de wato wanted list eso. But yenya ye yiwo if you wanted list ne so because so say wo yare. Na wo train say obeba mrebi ya ma time say time a opese oba ne bra na one bar and ye de oba beto wanted list ne subium. We are not a serious country. Obi aye say wa bo man ne krono. Yes in background say wo yare nti ye de not wanted list eso. Ye yi ne free so because o see o yare o ja yare sa. Say wamba embra wo no ankasa atre. Ye sanso de ne beto so. We are serious. You think Ofori Atta sa ade na ye no wo hu say Ghana ye serious. Let me show you a story. My main story bi. So this story has been in my bookmark. It has been in my bookmark for some time now. And it was as if say me who story na make say me bookmarking to. Now there will be a time for me to tell that story. And I didn't know. But Embrace to say was a mekan story way. Let's read this story. Okay, let's read this story. Please get some time. It's a serious matter. Let's read this story. Or say Victor Salome, Rawlings's deputy finance minister, who spent his days in jail on a pacemaker and oxygen tank. Let me read the biome. Victor Salome, Rawlings time. Na obia na woye deputy finance minister. Na the Victor Salome. You see, or spending the days in jail on a pacemaker and oxygen tank. You can say pacemaker what you has here. You can oxygen tank what you has here. Yes, Victor Salome no. Now what yariama or yariama ye the tank, oxygen tank, and a bonichi and no that jail. Not to say on home make round unto me home into oxygen na unto me home no. Ye the whole tank and a bonichi na no the that jail. What's say surgery? Obi the oxygen tank. MPP time, the omode ye NDC deputy finance minister ni. Na men kinkan story no. Also, the name Victor Salome has resurfaced amidst discussions around the declaration of former Minister for Finance Ken Ofori Atta as a wanted fugitive by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Me say, when I saw this story, and I Ken Ofori Atta I bookmarked the story because something told me, say, one day I will need this story. And then Ken Ofori Atta asem ne ba na me kai say, story we, and then they call. See when or see, born Victor Lawrence Kwashi Salome, the economist, who served as Deputy Minister of Finance under Jerry John Rawlinson's government, was convicted by a court on charges related to financial impropriety. He was sentenced to 8 years imprisonment in 2001 for defrauding by false pretenses and causing financial loss to the state. MPP for Chinitumu, Kufuor Chinitumu in 2001. So a bomb Maineka into Uncle Dem 8 years. To some advocates of accountability, the case of Victor Salome underscores the duty of public officers to manage public resources judiciously. For others, including his family, his case represents pure political persecution, which ultimately cost him his life. Papa no wuyo. Victor Salome yi owuye. Also, in a recent Facebook post, a relative of the late former Deputy Minister of Finance, Francis Yao Salome, recounted how his relative willingly returned to Ghana to defend himself while under investigation for corruption while receiving medical treatment abroad. MPP time, no, na Victor Salome wonu so etu efri Ghana kwa abrochi ekoje ayaresa. You can't say yeah chino no, just like what Ken Ofori Atta is doing today. He could have done same. But to say dabi, in some way to me so no enya no kware. But meba Ghana, na mababa be. Oyari o, oje ayaresa o. Ye the tank ebu ne chima ne ba Ghana. Hey. See, according to Francis, upon arriving in Ghana, his relative was arrested at Kotoka International Airport in a manner reminiscent of an American movie. When the late Victor Salome was accused of corruption while seeking medical attention abroad, he willingly returned to defend himself. He was arrested at the airport in a Rambo style, detained, and eventually jailed, all for political vindictiveness, he wrote. As widely reported, Francis Salome affirmed that his relative, who was battling cardiac issues, now Victor Salome na coma, ye kasobia coma issues, what he has here, nana coma. He was battling cardiac issues and had a pacemaker, was incarcerated at Nsawam prison and was only taken to Kolebu Teaching Hospital for medical treatment when his condition deteriorated, despite his family's continuous pleas for him to receive treatment abroad. Ofia brochie ba ya ni yede ne kokot no. Ne busuafo hu se papa no ne health no deteriorate. Okwa abrochi no at least it was okay. But assembly nti mwatwe na bagana no problem. Waba. Yede ne kokot de bia no. E ne busuafo nka se yesremo. Mo de yemfa ne nkwa abrochi biom na yenkwohwe no. Ne ho to na ne aba be try case no. Aban se dabi. Ye wo hospital wo Ghana ha. Kolebu yede ne beko. So eya na hospital omoko court ni wia near the Nako Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Also, this was a man who had a pacemaker, and you see, for him, no, there was even evidence. There was evidence because he had a pacemaker. Nakuma, inti owo pacemaker, and he was suffering from cardiac issues. He was held in Nsawam with an oxygen tank. What that Nsawam prison, Nsawam. What is someone in Nsawam? Or Nsawam. And an oxygen tank, a bonichi. His family pleaded for him to receive medical attention abroad. It was only when his condition worsened that he was rushed to Kolebu, where he later died. Into that hospital, Nekrano, the bush full soon. A broche ni betumi ahwe no. E ho na ne yehwe na yede ne bae. Yemfa ne nko. Aban se dabi. Omote hwa Nsawam ho na papa no. The condition is serious. You're rushing the Kolebu Teaching Hospital now we woo. Entino, ovu ye, ewo kufu onsem, ewa Ghana near se wabokrono and ye ni dealing. And I'm not saying says obi abokrona my enfani dealing, but today we are presented with the same case. And look at the special prosecutor and look at Ofori Atta. Also, the family, including myself, endured a lot of stigmatization during this period. Francis added, the persecution of the late former deputy minister centered around the sale of 60% of GMPC, 40% shareholding. And that was, you see, the funny thing is that this was the same thing that was about to even happen to Chachuchi Kata. Chachuchi Kata also, yari gidi, still yachini tumu. And nyame energy Chachuchi Kata and kuwu ewo prison and akufo. And the Ofori Atta dieni. I say, Adanko dada adwe. Krokron de John. Any idea Ghana for February, March, April, May, June. February, March, April, May, June. Near do June we I be catching say young go back to square one. Virtual session na me din kanka ya waka say 1 penny and unti ya twen February, March, April, May, June no. Young go back to that idea na 1 penny no. Are we serious in this country? We are a bunch of jokers and editi kroma. Jokers. Now yes you be abo man krono. This is how we pamper the person. We are not serious. Let me read some comments and see what Ghanaians are saying. Or see, when he was misappropriating funds and implementing suicidal economic policies, was he doing it virtually or in person? Wherever he is, he must be dragged down to account for every penny. No excuse should be taken by the OSP. And you see, the funny thing they say, MPP, ewa abemwa, nanka Ofori Atta he'll still be working. No? Because when MPP wa abemwa now we minister, later he sanso best send the position. No? Ni antese Ofori Atta we tu akwa abrochi akwa kwaje yaresa o. MPP Lucy ye na afede Ofori Atta akwa kwa wa abrochi for about 5 months. We are in the 6th month and he went in January. So for 6 months, na 6 months ni Ofori Atta kwa wa abrochi. Like, so sometimes you wonder. It's in anka MPP wa aben anka man say enye say ye to aba and anka MPP nti anka Ofori Atta anka still obewa abruchi as finance minister for 5 months or 6 months. Anyway, Ghana for. Also, the criminals have more power than the state. This one, when he's arrested right now, you see some low IQ party people jumping left and right that his right is being violated. You people should keep the country like this and see if anything will ever change. I say, if he wanted that, why wait till the deadline? So you see, very sensible question this person is asking. It's in Usiki for virtual. It's virtual and able to me. I didn't tell what my deadline they do answer. You see, at this point, if you see the response coming from Ofori Atta or the response being reported and reportedly coming from Ofori Atta at this point, I think Ofori Atta is just playing with the minds of Ghanaians. Response at GH1 for reported Ofori Atta diabano. Say netia, he's playing with the minds of Ghanaians. Because over to me here meeting over the internet. Why am I train for 5 months? And so now we can and say meeting the can yen internet so. Nanka meeting about to me I internet ne so. So nanka no around time and near kasi ye show February ho nanka be to me meeting no internet ne so. Why my yen date we Felisa obeba. Ye be declare we say we wanted na and they will be catching say we be meeting no internet ne so. And obi kano embra na we impose e-levy and sa taxes to more den same one modi di Ghana for no sa nyama ni na no mo ye no sabe na mo dwen ho e-levy and the likes am impose wa Ghana for so no na mo dwen ho o ye ni internet so and they do say e be account ya mo ka train say internet contract yes will sign here SML contract ni woni China for contract yes will terminate and there e can the 5 cases soon here and there person ye new deal no. Who ye internet so They do say obe account no see internet so. Hey, you have to account oh. And the special prosecutor, Michelle, you have to put in every single serious hey and if they grow. Special prosecutor. Yeah, the Ofori Atta the media maka me see una wo can said Ofori Atta was a fugitive. Every single fugitive will want to remain a fugitive because we be anywhere we person echi no. Enti so no or ye nyama bi say ya na ebi mo ka say e delay taxes. I understand. Eye wo na embra ne support say wo say wo chi nipa kro no e na wo say wo no ubiti nipa kro no delay taxes. Enti special prosecutor eye wo na ye de enibire ba so. Ofori Atta ne de eye ono de obeye obe protect ne ho no wo ye. Enti wo special prosecutor ene ye de enibire e ba wo so. De empese ye beten hwe yempese ye bete kwen una waka tren say ende ube declare no wanted. Interpol for chinembra. Special prosecutor, that is all we want. Yempe hwe empe kwen bia. We have waited for all. Hey, sometimes around ebia March, May, April. Ubon se MELODIES ebusu ni bi ni ti Ofori Atta case na kwa ko si sen monsieur. You see June into ye twen. I say do you know the number of people who have called me on this matter? As if say me na me special prosecutor. Yempesi ye bete hwe. Yempesi ye bete kwen. Or say OSP shouldn't make a mistake to adhere to this theatrics. It will set a bad precedent for the office. Obi say, hey, or say I knew this man will never show up in person. Or say this man too need to be arrested too. Or say he thinks we are playing in this country. Or say if this OSP doesn't bring the criminal to Ghana to face the law, he has to be sacked. And that office has to be closed. Very useless office. Maybe I make a Ghana for. Or see, after seeing what Wontumi is going through, you think he's going to show up? Or say, Afenyomaken this week, a Juma rough. Hey, Wontumi and Ofori, the week go long give you. Or say, the OSP, he chopped the money some and looks like he can't handle this man like the way it should be. He should leave, or say he should leave if he can't execute the job. This man is never sick. Drag him to your office for questioning. Charlie, OSP, be serious, rule. I see the OSP at this moment is nothing but a joke. How can we hold people accountable if they are the ones to set the rules of engagement? Ghana is doomed if this is how things are going to be done. You see how people are attacking the OSP. I say, declare him wanted now, OSP. I say, this Ken guy is toying with the OSP. The Attorney General should take over the case and get him down to answer questions. Victor Salome wasn't given those chances by Kufuor. OSP should go ahead to declare him a fugitive. I say, if he's not the target of the investigation, the OSP can travel to interview him or do it virtually. This isn't complicated. Law enforcement routinely meet witnesses or persons of interest where they are. Selective inconvenience shouldn't be used as tactic. I say, so you guys think Akufo-Addo set up this office to prosecute his cousin? Without the OSP, by now, Yoko and NIB would have taken Ken long ago. Even before Wontumi, one day, you guys will understand why that OSP office was set up. How many cases has that office prosecuted so far? And you see, I am seeing a lot of people calling for the dissolution of the OSP's office. And if OSP fails to deal with this case, I think I'll support that. Obi say nekwasia until di Ofori Atta attempt. I say nekwasia. When he was doing the crime, did he do anything virtual? Your Excellency said, John Dramani Mahama, please, it will be better to just dissolve the OSP. Look at the concept going on. Enough said. I am not going to talk about this issue again, but we are waiting to see what the OSP is going to say. Now, OSP need the response back. We are expecting the OSP to declare Ofori Atta wanted today, but the response never. Your comment box the moment I say.